Warriors, it's Brittany, volunteer for the CRPS Warriors Foundation. Today we're going to talk about preparing for appointments. Before I get into that, I did just want to let everybody know, I apologize for a lack of videos for a little bit. We have been having really bad storms here. We're having one today, so if you hear a lot of rain, I apologize because it is pretty loud in here. We were out of power for 4 days. And then we got it back and it went out for 2 more days. So things have been a little bit rough around here. I hadn't had power, and then since the power got put back on, my Wi-Fi has been a little bit sketchy because there's a lot of repairs going on. A lot of damage got done out this way. Trying to get back on track as much as everything around me will allow. So let's get into preparing for appointments. This is Caregiver to Caregiver. These are some things that have just really helped me to prepare for appointments, and I always do, and they save me a lot of time, and they save me and Brian a lot of aggravation. First and foremost, I absolutely love the feature of the online patient portal. You can do so much on there, and you can do it ahead of your appointment, so you're not stuck filling out all the paperwork at an appointment, especially if you go to see a new doctor. It's almost like filling out a social media profile. You can even put your profile picture and everything in there. So I like this because you can change your information at any time, whether it's your address, your phone number, or your emergency contact. Any updated information you can always change on there. You can also be able to message your doctor directly through this portal, which is really convenient when you have a condition like Brian's. We really use this a lot to be able to message the doctor and her office. This also helps if you see multiple doctors, because this gives you access to be able to transfer records and get information and see if referrals are sent. So I thoroughly really utilize this. What's nice about it too is when you go to see a new doctor, you can add your conditions, you can add your family history, you can add your meds, the doses, and why you take them, for what condition they help. You can upload your insurance information and take pictures of the front and back of your insurance card and upload it on there. And you can transfer the records through there. The other thing too is that I love is that you get notifications to remind you of your appointments. You can change appointments. You can also have access to the questionnaires that they have you fill out, especially when you go to a new doctor, the ones that are like 10 pages long and take forever. So I always fill those out before Brian's appointments. Then when we get there, all we do is check in and they're like, you're all set. Good. So we can just relax and wait for the doctor. The other thing I do is I track Brian's symptoms every day. And here is an example of my very organized and detailed symptom tracker sheet that I made. And this is actually very helpful for someone that has a condition or multiple conditions of the severity that Brian does. I have all the symptoms that he does or could experience. I keep track of what he eats, what he does, what the weather's like, because the weather affects his conditions. And this allows me to be able to really tell what bugs him and what doesn't. I also keep track of his blood pressure on there, just to make sure his blood pressure medication is still working. And I take these with me to appointments, and it's actually very helpful for them to have a record of how he's been doing. Then they know better how to treat him and what his problem areas really are at the time. Another thing too is always make a list of everything you want to talk about and take it with you. Because I don't know if you're like me, when you're in the moment, you have a whole bunch of stuff you wanted to talk about and you can't remember one thing. So always take a list with you, so that way you at least have a reference point to be able to make sure that you cover all the topics with your doctor while you're there. And don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand anything or if something isn't working for you, please don't be afraid to ask your doctor a question. We want to make sure that you can advocate for yourself to get the best care that you can get. And when you go, take that notebook with you that your list is in, and write down anything that you want to remember, anything you want to go home and research, and advocate for yourself while you're there. And this last one is the most important one as a caregiver. Prepare your warrior. What I do is, Brian and I talk about it probably about the whole week before we go. Appointments don't always go well for warriors. So I try to get him to get that out a couple days ahead of time. And then the day of the appointment, very, very important, build your warrior up. Don't let them focus on the negative of bad appointments in the past. Build your warrior up. You want them to be able to go into that doctor's office confident and strong, being able to advocate for themselves, because if they don't and it doesn't go well, they're not going to advocate, and they're not going to take care of themselves with the doctor in that visit. We want to always ensure that warriors get the best treatment that they possibly can. To do this, they need to be in a confident headspace. Always, always, always build your warrior up, and make sure that they know that even if this doesn't go well, it's not the end. There's always another one. There's always more. There's always more things to try. Try and just be positive. If it doesn't go well afterwards, let them vent. Let them get it out, because they need to. They need that release. And it's very frustrating for warriors, especially if they've been dealing with this for 10 years or more, like Brian. Every doctor's appointment, it's very defeating. Every doctor's appointment that goes bad. So, just to recap, utilize the online patient portals. They're amazing, and they save a lot of time. Track symptoms if you can. Take a list of topics and questions you want to ask your doctor to your appointment. Take that same notebook and write everything down while you're there. Ask questions. Advocate for yourself. Prepare your warrior. Most important, prepare the warrior. Give them that little extra oomph so that they can walk in there and be a rock star. So I hope this helped everybody, and it really can, this can make or break your appointment. Try to prepare, especially as a warrior. You have a hard time finding care to begin with, so caregivers have their back. Always, always have their back.